We're live.
Hey,
It says
we weren't live
hey,
before
hey,
this.
everybody.
No,
So we're
we
live.
were all dead before this until just
Yeah.
now. We came alive.
Reanimated. So hey, hi everybody. So we're getting together here to talk about the hashtag comic book shout out initiative that's been going on, and Alan has graciously joined us, as well as Travis from Comics Limited. Travis is
Hi,
going
all.
to be one of the other artists who's going to be doing a sketch for you guys, the people who win. So I'm not sure who might be in the room yet. I am not.
Yeah, I just realized, how do we know?
Yeah, usually when I'm on YouTube, it'll let me know how many people are in the room, but on StreamYard, it doesn't say
No,
anything.
it does show. It should show in it should show like a little eye with like the number of people.
I don't see any eyes, so nobody's watching us then.
No, nobody's watching us.
Oh, okay, good then.
Okay.
That's
So,
good.
hello, nobody. Good to see you.
We said hi. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Yeah.
Well, there are at least 3 people watching.
This is true. 3. So if we're live on StreamYard, is it being
should
pushed out to
be
YouTube as well,
yeah,
or
be
is it?
pushed out to YouTube as well? Yeah, that's the way I always do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had it set up for YouTube, and it says it's checkmarked to YouTube, so we should be going there.
Actually, I did get a notice on my YouTube saying that you're going live with something or other. So it must.
Oh,
Okay.
must
maybe I
be
should
working.
check that. I'll go.
Alright.
I'll go and check my other window because I have 2.
Mhm.
Travis will check the other window and see if there's anyone else. But if you're in the room, shout out so we know you're here. But the purpose of the whole thing is we're going to be deciding who wins some original art for our first round of the hashtag comic book shout out. And Alan, you were asking me last week if I could tell you how many people had viewed the shout out videos. So actually I went up ahead and did a tally. Pushing
Okay.
3,000. We got 2,800 plus views on the
That's
hashtag
pretty
comic
good.
book shout out videos. Yeah. So
And how many participated in the shoutouts?
besides myself and Travis, there were 9 other participants.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, for first round, that's actually really good.
Yeah, 23 videos. So
It took me like almost a year to get to that level with my comic book challenge videos, right? So,
right.
Yeah. so you did
I know a
well.
lot of
You did
people
well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I
it's-
absolutely enjoy those videos. I wish I had. Well, you know what? Now that I have editing software and things like that, I think I might be able to join in a little bit more on it because I can actually do my video, edit it, and then post it, which is something that I hadn't been able to do until just more recently. And time wise, I've just been doing shorts just because it's
Easier.
easier, and I work like crazy amount of hours, and I'm going to school full time. So
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
so that's been
Yeah, I always recommend people do my level of editing, which is none. And that's
That's how I
been my
started out.
style.
That's what you suggested was just go for it and start putting some content out. Don't worry the edits, and
Yeah.
it worked. I mean, I started getting stuff out there, and people started watching, and then I started learning little bits and pieces about editing here and there, and all
Mhm.
that. And then I know that was really daunting to Travis. He's like, I just don't know. And I'm like, look, this is how easy it is. Beep, 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 beep. And he's like, oh,
yeah.
it
Like
was
5
that
minutes later,
easy.
I was
Well,
like,
then.
and every one of my shorts since then have been I would say every one of the shorts that I put up since then have been edited in some way, just to either add the image at the beginning, having my tag at the end. I mean, and just having that in there, and also having my Comics Limited, and even having my QR code for the going to my YouTube, my eBay site.
So what software are you guys using for that?
I'm using VN Editor.
Hey, John.
Vienna?
Oh, go ahead.
VN, just
VN.
VN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I'm not familiar with it.
It's actually
John
on my
Comics
phone.
Kids here.
nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, John's a friend going way back. I sent him some comics that are probably worth a lot more than when I sent them to him back in the day. They were like a makeup for a mess up that the company I was working with sent. They goofed up, and so I put some comic books in his package. And I think there was a very early Star-Lord appearance, and then
Oh, nice.
first appearance, first Weapon X, and some other stuff. So
Cool. Actually, John, if he ever wants to reach out to me, he can if he wants to do the interview. I always need victims.
Yes, John, I've been trying to hook you guys up.
And Travis, the same applies to you.
Alan,
Absolutely, anytime.
Yeah.
I mean, just let me know, and
Yeah.
I can try to make arrangements for it.
Yeah, Alan does interviews with folks, and they're really awesome, and it gets you a little bit more exposure. Every I mean, that's what this whole comic book shout out thing is about. It's just getting more people subbed up to all the different channels and exposed to them. Actually, John, I think Mon Comics. He's got 2 little girls, and I was telling him, I'm like, have you checked out John's comics with kids? I mean, he's got daughters, he's got them excited about comics, and then Travis also has a couple daughters, and they're into comics. One of his daughters did a review of Star Wars for the
Comics Talk blog.
Yeah, Comics Talk blog. What's the website for that again?
comicstalkblog.com.
Oh yeah, that's it.
So my father, and so the preview maybe of something we might talk about, Alan, is that my father-in-law and I kind of got each other back into comics way back. Like, so Kim and I, we've been married for 21 years. And so her dad and I, even before we got married, he and I started talking comics because he sold comics in the 90s and was there with the big crash. And so, and as we started talking, we realized we had a lot of connection there, and we had a connection with computers and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then, and Kim and I got married, and we went down there this is before we got married. We went down for a family holiday because we were going down there before our wedding. And I met her whole family. I mean, and when I mean her whole family, I mean all of her dad's brothers and sisters who were still alive at the time, her dad's dad and mom, and her dad's dad. First thing he asked me, he goes, so do you think you could take me, boy? That's exactly what he said to me. First thing he just said to me. And this is this man who can't get out of a wheelchair. And he's and I'm like, that's awesome. I'm like, I don't know, sir. You seem pretty tough. And he laughed. He liked my response. So anyway,
that's a good response. Yeah.
But so Walter takes me out into the garage where he has his comics, and there are 32 long boxes.
Wow. Wow.
So it was, and essentially, basically, he then told me, hey, anything you're looking for, anything you want, anything you want to read, just it's yours. And I was like, are you
I'll
serious?
take that Action 1 you have there, and
yeah, I mean, together we've bought and sold several collections over and over again. Sometimes we get caught up in the FOMO of the moment, like Spider-Boy. I mean, honestly, the story, I read a lot of brand new stuff. I don't know if you're into reading the newer stuff or like Brian.
I read some of it.
Okay, so Dan Slott's one of my favorite writers. Didn't really like his Fantastic Four all that much. It was okay. But he started writing the Spider-Man storyline, the one that they're doing right now. And man, it was really good. I was like, oh, hey, and this whole idea of destroying the multiverse, the Spider-Verse, and how they were doing it, and kind of the bad guy, and then the surprise of the of Spider-Boy was really good. It was like surprising, and the character is actually interesting, and it's not some throwaway.
So many people ripping. I had heard so many people ripping on that book and then saying, oh, it's just garbage. And then Travis is telling me, no, the storyline is amazing.
Yeah.
They just haven't been reading it all along, and they're trying to jump in on one issue and they're not getting it. So John says that he'd be down to hang out anytime, Alan. So you got to hit him up.
Tell him to hit me up on Instagram. Whenever he's free, I'll make myself free. That's how it works.
There you go. That sounds very difficult. I don't know how you guys are going to work that out, but you'll make it work somehow.
That's the great thing about being the owner of your own company. You can schedule around anything.
Hey, 22, what's up? 22 Comics. He also did a hashtag comic book shout out video. We're here. We're going to be doing the Wheel of Fortune here to decide who gets to get
Wheel of Fate.
The first round. The Wheel of Fate. Yes. Alan was like, "How can we hack this so that I get the artwork?" I'm like, "Well, unless you've got really good hacking skills, and you can get in my computer."
So is it going to be one winner or two winners?
It's going to be two. So we're going to
Okay.
do. I'm going to do a sketch, and then Travis is going to do a sketch.
So that actually improves your odds of winning if you've done the shout out video. Like,
Yeah.
it's 2 in 9
Yeah,
chance.
that's right.
You know,
And
this is how bad I am at winning things. I was on my honeymoon, and there was a prize that you could win, and there was 2 people that were signed up for it. So I thought, okay, I'm totally gonna win. Like, there's only two people. I still lost,
right?
but
Oh
I
my
got the
God.
prize. I ended up getting the prize because the other couple were like, "Oh, sorry, we can't use this prize." So they gave it to us. Like, we got
There you go.
I got the pity win. The pity win was the only way I could get.
Well, at least you
get
got.
the win.
Is it Falco that sends you all that stuff?
Oh yeah, he
the
sends
signs
me all
up
the
for
stuff. He
the
wins it
drawing?
all the time, so he's good.
Right.
He's a very lucky man. So yeah.
22 said he was waiting for you to say you didn't get lucky on your honeymoon.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
So
balance.
22, Alan, are you putting your invite out to anybody who's on here that shows up that has a channel to come on and be interviewed?
Sure. I as long as they have comics,
Yeah,
some interesting story, I don't mind interviewing people.
Okay,
I've interviewed
so 22,
big
Alan
channels
does
and
an
stuff.
interview series on his channel once a week. He has an interview with somebody who does comics, and some people sometimes they don't even do YouTube. But 22's got a great channel, and
Mhm.
I think you guys would get along really well. So get
Was
you
he
some
the
more
one that
exposure.
did the
And
really
then again,
great? Was he the one that did the really great homage to yours?
so that was What's on the Comic Rack. Did
Right.
Okay.
highlighting 22 comics, and then 22 comics has done a couple more of the shout out videos, and 22 said he's about to post another one. He's working on the thumbnail for it right now, so
Oh, cool.
sweet. So that'll get you hooked up for next round.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I'm still trying to keep up with all the ones that we've done shout outs for, and going out and watching those channels, because
yeah,
there were some really good ones that were recommended that I've been checking out.
there's
So,
been there's a ton, and I keep finding new ones every day. So I've got like my notebook over here with just a list of all these channels that I want to do shout out videos for.
Nice.
So
Mm.
Before we get too far into it, I want to talk about the people who did videos. We had Mon Comics, Brandon at Mon Comics did a couple videos. Romuald, Mr. Akins at What's on the Comic Rack, 22 Comics did a couple, like we said. Comic Collector Geek, you have me on a couple times for interviews, discussing and exposing people more to the idea. Then you did a shout out video yourself.
Mhm.
And then Aussie Comic Book Collector and Obito Comics and Garage Geek and Gary B, the casual comic guy, kind of did one. He didn't put the hashtag comic shout out in, but he shouted me out, talked about the movement and everything. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to put him in.
Why
But,
not? Right?
hey, there is. Speaking of Mr. Aiken, there he is. What is up? So earlier on, I was talking. Alan had asked me on his channel how many people had viewed the hashtag comic book shout out videos, and we're pushing almost 3,000 views, or over 2,800 anyway. So for the first month, that's pretty darn good, I think. So
I think that's really great because these are small channels for the most part that are getting the attention that they never have gotten if it wasn't for this shout out. So it's really great.
Yeah, for sure. So Trav, you said you had some artwork you wanted to show, or?
Yeah, I mean, so just to get an idea of the types of sketches I do and things like that. I did show one during our if anybody watched our first comic talk we did. I did show the sketch that I did of Radiant Black.
Radiant Black.
Right.
Radiant Black, yeah.
Right. And then I was going, Brian's like, just go through your old artwork and find some stuff. And so I found this Spider-Man sketch that I did. Yes, it's supposed to be upside down. So because he's hanging upside down anyway. So yeah, so it's a Spider-Man sketch I did. And then I was looking at some other stuff. It's funny, how many pieces of artwork I did when I worked. So I don't know if you guys know that Big Beam and Fly used to have a shop years and years ago. And I it seems like when I say years and years ago, I mean like ancient of days or something like that.
He was doodling at the counter.
I would doodle at the counter when I would work at the shop because there were times, when you're working, there's nothing there. I did this black costume.
We didn't play Risk and stuff there.
Yeah, we did that too. But I did this black costume Spider-Man. I did this buxom
Alan drawing.
It looks like an Alan drawing.
Yeah.
Who's the character? It looks like
actually I made it up.
Oh really? Okay.
Yep, just out of my head.
Oh nice. I like the sort of steampunk look of it.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I might have been chatting with people and writing phone numbers down because there's a phone number on this one, but there's another Spider-Man.
Well, hopefully that's not their phone number now. You're putting it out on the internet.
Well, yeah, I don't know if anybody really saw it.
Years ago, right?
I was playing with some pen and ink to do a Spawn for a birthday card, but the ink wouldn't just recently dried, and so it was just kind of a touch pen type ink. Where I was actually brushing it on. So, and then let's see here. Do I have anything else recent? Of course, there's the piece that I did for my father-in-law. This one right here, which is for Comics Talk blog. It was his business card. This is the one we used for the business card. So it's just just people arguing about comics with each other.
Yeah, people don't do that about comics. What are you talking about?
Oh, not at all. Never. Not once. Never.
We all agree.
Always.
It's one harmonious community.
Oh, that's right. So my father-in-law wrote a book. It's called The Gathering. It's a kind of a superhero type book. And he had this character that is supposed to have this like psychic armor, but it's supposed to look like medieval armor. And so he had me do a couple of drawings for it. And the character was supposed to be up on top of the Space Needle, and the Space Needle was supposed to be off in the distance. So it was supposed to be a really little guy, but I drew it big so I could shrink it down. And then this was the inking on it with just the color. No pencils were on this part. So, but yeah, so then, and then his foot behind.
Highlighting the flames reflecting off his armor.
Thank you.
I should have made you big for this. I should have, so people could see your artwork more than just me and Alan's faces.
Yeah, our faces.
Yeah.
Or you got more of your show and traffic and make you big.
Let me see if I have anything else in this one. Maybe I'll show some more things later. I don't really have anything else right now.
So yeah, I just wanted you guys to get a little taste of what Travis's artwork looks like. You guys have seen my stuff on Instagram, and I've showed it a couple times on different channels. I think I showed some stuff on my interview with you, right? Some of my framed stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah. I got to put it up on Instagram. A buddy of mine, he did a bunch of work when I had my shops, did a bunch of construction work there. And so as a thank you, I did, as well as paying him, I did a drawing of the Hulk. And at that time it was the whole Planet Hulk storyline. So it's the Hulk taking on Mr. Fantastic, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange. And he's just the Illuminati, and he's just manhandling them. So he found the artwork. They were in the process of moving, and he sent me a copy of a picture of the artwork. So I'm going to post it on Instagram here pretty soon. So
nice.
That's cool, man.
But yeah.
Hey, the Crusaders cover, Crusaders #1, when you did that comic book, all those years ago. Did you draw the cover and then Eric inked it?
No, that was Eric on the cover. I'm on the back cover.
Oh, okay. Well, I only have the front cover, so I can't. So I don't have that.
Okay, so the thing he's talking about is it was an independent comic book that a friend.
Uh-oh. Are you there?
Here I am.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay.
So that's a friend of ours named Eric. He did that artwork, and so we published
That's so
those.
good.
We published those comics and sold them at the Portland Comic Con.
Yep.
What was the cover price on that?
$1.
Nice. Yeah. Wow.
A whole $1. I mean, think about that in 89. 89. Right.
That's actually a really great price.
Yeah, we worked in the print shop. They had a print shop at our high school.
Yeah.
And we were basically able to print money. I mean, we printed comics and took them to the comic shows and we'd sell them. And it was all funded by taxpayer dollars.
Nice.
Well, hours and hours of working on it. Oh, hey, there's a Brian sketch of one of my characters.
No. These are like ancient sketches, guys.
1988. So. Brian Combe, Big McFly. Drew that.
I drew that in 1988.
Two of my characters that I created for a game we played. One of my the character you see there with the fire kind of blowing out of his midsection there, his name was Blades, and clearly he has blades. And then the guy you could kind of see up in the top, that was a character called Simeon, and he was chasing him down. So you made me go through my old artwork, Brian. So there's this folder here, this old peachy folder.
Oh, wow.
And it happens to have stuff that both you, Eric, and I drew together. Oh, in fact, here's one of me drawing Blade from 1988.
There you go.
So, and I was into lens flare, so just
like that.
Just call me.
Flares. It looks very 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I was thinking that
cool.
too.
It has that definitely.
By the way, Travis, we don't share civilian identities on the internet.
Oh, sorry. Did I say your full name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You forgot to give his mailing address as well. So.
Well, it's okay. It's 223. Big Sky, Montana.
All right, I can't see. Yeah, there you go. I can't see how many people we have. You said there's supposed to be a little eyeball that tells me how many people, Alan, I am.
Yeah, usually when I do it, I always see the number of people.
That's funny.
Trevor, are you on another screen? YouTube, can you see it?
I'm actually
say how many people are watching?
Actually posting. I was just posting posting it to my channel, so there was a post saying, "Hey, come and check us. Come join us." And I can let's see if I can do it without causing.
Just mute it on the other screen, then you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see how many people. I just was curious. So I want to go ahead and start getting into the meat of the conversation here and trying to do the drawing. So, but
I show.
We got 4 viewers, and
yeah, we have 22 is in there. Oh, and I can see his chats now. John's Comics is in there. Technically, I'm in there.
It should say like how many are watching when you're looking at it. It should say.
Yeah, I'm looking. It says right now it's chats. Let's see here.
It should say right under the video if you're watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's not actually though. That's
usually it
weird.
says like 20 some odd viewing or something like that.
Yeah, usually when it's on Alan's channel. When it's on my channel, it says 4.
Right. It says 5 with me now. So there are a few other people in here. What's on the Comic Rack is here. So
yeah, there you go. Right on. So yeah, I don't know. You guys, on Thursday I went on here and I had just worked like a 14-hour shift. And I was wanting to tell people, hey, we're not doing the drawing on the 15th. We're going to do it on the weekend. Both Travis and I are working, and I was a zombie. Brian LCS came on, and he's talking to me, and I'm literally like, there are 30 and 40-second stretches of me just kind of going.
You're sort of sleeping on the guy.
Just staring at the camera, saying nothing, and I'm like, okay, I'm deleting that video. That's not staying on my channel.
Well, I'd gotten a notification that you were live, so I looked on, tried to see the video, and as soon as I got on, it said it was deleted.
Colossus Collector got a shout out from What's on the Comic Rack. So we're doing our first round of drawings for the sketches Colossus Collector, and we are going to be doing a round 2 around the 15th of the month, every month, we're going to be giving away some free artwork. So, or some, and whoever wins, hey, Dales of Suspense. There we go. Cool. How you doing, buddy? So if you guys, I don't know, I'm encouraging everybody, if you want to do a shout out video, it gets you involved in this. And then it also gets you involved in the big drawing that we're going to be doing in November. And Travis has a book that he wanted to show off that we're going to be giving away for that November drawing, right? That's
right, absolutely.
So
I'm
going to make it big this time.
adding.
I'm going to do it right.
Make it big
so you can see it. So I'm giving away a Berserker 9.8 Berserker number 2 Grandpa sketch variant. This is the full sketch variant. Whereas there's another one out there that's actually that's got the background that's the same, the red and yellow background from the original number 2. And this one is completely separate, completely different sketch variant, but it is straight from Boom. So
who did the sketch?
Grandpa. Our grandpa. Raphael Grandpa, I think is his name.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see if I can get it in there. Yeah, there it is.
Grandpa. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Cool.
I really like it. I dig his artwork. The way he draws, he kind of reminds me of
That's a sweet sketch. Can you see the sketch again? Close up. Yeah, so there we go. There we go.
See if I can get it to focus. Focus.
Yeah, that's piano.
Yeah, it looks like Keanu. I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
There you go. It's focused now.
Yeah, I like this guy's art. It reminds me of the guy who has all the details like in his background. God, what is his name? You know what I'm thinking of? The guy who did the
Big guy in Rusty the Boy Robot, that guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Does he do a lot of DC covers?
He worked for Dark Horse a lot.
Yeah, he did a lot of Dark Horse stuff. He did some stuff with I think he actually still does stuff for Dark Horse too. I think he still does art. He does these covers.
I wanted to say Jeff Darrow, but that's probably not
that's
right.
it. That's it. Darrow. Yeah, Darrow.
Yeah.
For sure, Darrow. I don't know about Jeff, but definitely Darrow. But he does the details that he puts in the drawings are so incredible. When you're looking at it, you see like there's product placement, like in a way that it fits and makes you feel like it's like it's really awesome. I think I remember he do a really cool Wolverine cover too, like I think I'm trying to think.
He did Hard Boiled.
Yes, his story, that was his main thing, was Hard Boiled.
Okay, I know Hard Boiled.
Yeah. His artwork is really, really amazing.
Yes.
I love that there was a car chase scene where they're driving down the freeway, and then there's like a car that's like 100 times bigger than the other cars, is smashing other cars and stuff. And you just got all the detail. He's got every gear and sprocket and piece coming off the cars and everything, and it was just amazing stuff. So, yep. So, do we want to go ahead and do the first? The first, yeah.
Are we ready?
First draw. Let's see here. I think maybe. Do we want to wait a little bit longer and talk some more?
It's really up to you, man. I mean, I'm game either way. I can hang out and talk for a little bit longer too.
Okay.
We could do one and then talk for a while, and then do the second one.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll talk some more about the second one. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this thing. I'm trying it the first time. Sharing my screen. Let's see here. Share screen. Share screen.
Star screen.
Share. All right. So can you guys see that? I can't see it. I can't see if you guys can see it. So,
I can see it.
All right.
I can definitely see it.
We got our 9 different people. What's on the comic rack? Obito, 22 Comics, Ozzy Comic Book Collector, Comic Collector Geek, Gary B. the Casual Comic Guy, Garage Geek, Mon Comics, and Romuel Valdivia, Comic Books and Food. So I'm going to go ahead and give her a spin on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Spin away. And this is for the sketch from me, and you'll get to pick the character that you want me to draw for you. So even cooler if it's somebody who's in the room that we can actually. Oh, is it going to
Looks
be
like
Mon Comics?
Mon Comics.
Mon Comics. I have a feeling I'm going to be drawing Man Thing. That's what I predict.
Lots
So,
of little leaves.
all right.
Nice.
Mon Comics. Cool. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and stop sharing this screen. And I will now go back to StreamYard. Hey, I can see you guys again.
Yay!
So that worked.
Hey, Manny the Hobgoblin Collector. So everybody who's in the room that has a channel being interviewed by Alan, get him up on Instagram. Alan, you know, within it's up to your discretion, buddy. But Manny is a good one. Colossus Collector would be a good one. Looks like we have people mainly who are commenting on here who are all people who have channels and would be good interviews for you.
Anything I can do to help smaller channels grow, or I'm always willing to help.
And some content for your channel as well.
yeah, it's good. It's like I don't have to worry about another Saturday coming up with content for it, but so that's good too.
Yeah, absolutely. So hit Alan up. He does a whole series of interviews on his channel, and they're always awesome. I mean, he interviewed me, so what can I say? His taste is not always the best.
Oh man, you just took my joke.
I know, man. You burned me so many times when we were on there.
Well, I have to say you're an easy target. That wasn't really my fault.
I did set myself up quite a few times.
Every time, actually, I couldn't help. It was like I'm like, oh, I don't want to burn my friend. I love this guy, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, dude, you just I can't help it. I'm doing it.
Man Thing or Predator? Yeah, Colossus Collector is correct. It'll be either Man Thing or Predator, or maybe I'll do a Man Thing and Predator. You know, Man Thing versus Predator for him. So, yeah, so for sure. So hey, you guys that are in the chat, if you guys win, what characters are you wanting to have drawn? I should put that out there. I mean, some people like Alan, I knew he was going to want Vampirella. Mon Comics, I mean, obviously it's going to be Man Thing or Predator. And I can guess with some, but some channels I'm like, I wonder what character. I mean, Colossus Collector, I mean, he's probably going to have me draw, or have one of us draw Colossus if he wins. But I mean, he has to do a shout out first.
Yeah.
Didn't get one in this time. I guess Manny the Hobgoblin Collector, that'd be pretty easy to tell. Probably gonna have a Hobgoblin sketch there.
Really? Maybe he would like to have. Maybe he'd like to have something different, though. I mean, maybe he's got lots of hobgoblins.
Yeah, well, that's
maybe
true.
he's tired of hobgoblins.
Maybe he needs a Spider-Man arresting hobgoblin.
There you go. Yeah, Colossus Collector says, yeah, mine would be pretty obvious.
The question is what Colossus? Do you want like the Greek Colossus, the giant thing that stood over the
the archway for the water thing. Yeah. Rhodes.
Yeah,
Colossus of Rhodes.
Yes, Colossus of Rhodes.
22 says Iron Man, Moon Knight, Swamp Thing, Zatanna. Okay, you got to pick one or two. You can't.
That'd be interesting. That would be kind of an interesting.
Probably Iron Man, right? But
you could do it like an amalgam comics, and they could all be one character.
Oh, man, he says you have Hollow's Eve. So there you go. I didn't know who he would have, so that's a good one.
That is a good one.
I think that
newer character.
They've had some really cool villains. Manny was educating me a little bit about the history of these really cool villains that they've created and just kind of wasted them. We had an interesting discussion about the Queen Goblin and a couple of the other ones, Menace and several other ones. And he's like, God, they're just
no Queen Goblin came out like,
and I wasn't aware. I mean, spoiler, but to anybody, I mean, it's been over a year probably since she came out, but they
Yeah.
killed her right away. I mean,
Oh, I didn't realize she was killed.
Oh, Goblin Queen. I'm sorry, you said Queen
the
Goblin.
Queen Goblin. No, Queen, not Goblin Queen, not the one from X-Men Goblin Queen. Queen
No,
Goblin.
no, Queen Goblin. Okay.
Queen Goblin,
yeah.
From Spider-Man.
Oh, she was just revived, he said. All right. Yay!
Oh, they brought her back. You never stay dead too long in comics. Yeah,
Unless you're Gwen Stacy.
yeah, what is with that?
You have to
That
come
used
from
to
a
be
whole nother universe to be able
Just
to
to
be
bring
Gwen
her back.
Stacy.
Yeah.
The joke used to be no one stays dead except for
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben and Bucky. And then, well, now you know.
And Bucky's not dead.
Guardian. Okay, Guardian from Alpha Flight. That
Ooh.
would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
There you go.
Okay.
Is he back? Is it James Hudson? Is he back? I'm not up on my current reading.
Is Alpha Flight? I mean, I know that they made it. They had kind of turned Alpha Flight into Sword,
Yeah.
and so they have a couple different flights that come out. It's no longer a Canadian team, basically. It's
Right.
it's
Werewolf by Night. What's in the comic, right? That would be cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
I got a cool one coming in the mail that I'll have to show off on a video of Werewolf by Night. But you were go ahead, Trav. We were telling about.
So I think they did this thing with Sword with Abigail Brand, and it was and that was kind of a story that was going on before the changeover with the X-Men, with changeover with Hickman before Hickman did his story. And so, and the Alpha Flight was they had Gamma Flight and Alpha Flight and a couple different groups that were working out of Sword, and then I think even Captain Marvel was working out of Sword as well, which I think was what kind of led into when they did there was that storyline where Tony. I mean, this goes back, so I'm going back now. Right before Civil War, when Tony blocked the Earth and she couldn't get onto the Earth because he'd shielded the whole Earth, which was kind of what led to the whole one of the things that led to the Civil War, because once that happened and Thanos was on the Earth and she couldn't get there to save. If anybody hasn't read this yet, I'm sorry. He couldn't save Rhodey, and he died because she was in love with she was having a relationship with Rhodey, and basically he and the Avengers went up against Thanos, and Thanos just totally killed him. Just killed him. Yeah.
I know Colossus Collector had a highlight issue of, I think it's Alpha Flight on one of his previous thumbnails. It's Alpha Flight number 12 is a book that he got at a somewhere when he was hunting comics, and I love that issue. That was this classic Byrne issue, and it's James Hudson. He beats the bad guy, and his power pack to his suit is short circuiting. He's going to die, and it's doing the countdown of 10, 9, 8, and it's showing him unhooking all the wires. It's like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and his wife opens the door, and she's like, "Mac," and he looks away just for a second, and it blows up, and he dies. You think he's going to get it done, and it's just like the last panel. he dies. It was like, oh my gosh! But then they've had him come back, but then it was a fake out. It was a robot impersonating him, and so I was wondering if he was actually back in continuity, because you never know. Comics.
I don't think he is. I don't think he's ever come back. I mean, I know they did something with cloning and there was the artist was Trevor Scott, and I think it was Scott Lobdell, was in the late 90s. It was kind of after the buyout and then the rebuy back after the Toy Biz bought Marvel bought their debt so that they could continue being a business. You remember there was a time where Marvel actually went bankrupt.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
That was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm thinking back because one of the things that helped was what tried to help them get out of that situation was selling off their properties to Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld, and it's Layfield or is it Liefeld?
Liefeld.
Liefeld. Okay, Rob Liefeld. And they sold off the properties, and the stories didn't go the way they wanted them to go, I guess. And then Marvel's like, and Rob had to step away because of stuff going on in Image. And so then Jim had kind of taken a back seat and had hit other people working stuff, and Wills had done most of Iron Man, and then he stepped back, and the last 4 issues were all done by Marvel's next group of artists, which then they brought him back. And well, anyway, one of those storylines that came out of that whole thing was there was a new Alpha Flight storyline by artist Trevor Scott and Scott Lobdell, I think, and that I remember had Mac on the cover, but it wasn't Mac. It was like a clone. It wasn't a robot. It was a clone or something. And he had like a half-life. He couldn't live very long. And so it was like it was one of those weird storylines. And I don't think the story went very far, but I remember that. Oh no, maybe it was Scott Clark. That was the artist. Trevor Scott was the inker. Anyway. It was just a weird group of names of Scott. So
what's on the comic racks of Dracula versus Werewolf by Night would be super cool. And then Manny the Hobgoblin Collector says he just finished a horror manga video into a story, still debating on upload. Then what's on the comic racks says he did a short on Guardian's death that counts down, and still looking for a top 10 Iron Man covers, not from Volume 1. 22 Comics has challenged what's on the comic rack. So, and then what's on the comic rack is his countdown uses the panels from the comics. I have got to figure out how to pop people's comments onto the screen.
So what you do is you have the chat that's happening along the side. Click on one of the chat items. Just click on it. It'll appear in the thing. Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
That's pretty
I feel
simple.
like I'm an expert, even though I'm terrible at it.
You are. You're teach me sensei, and actually sensei applies, right? Or do they call it sensei in judo?
Yeah, it's sensei.
Yeah.
Is it sensei? Okay.
And senpai is student.
Right. Yeah. There you go. So all that stuff that I just read to you, I could have just clicked on it, and there you go.
Oh, I think I would enjoy drawing that.
Yes, that would be a cool one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would definitely be a cool one.
I would have a lot of fun with that because I had a comic book I was working on that was all that had werewolves in it, and it was all the heroes were all these cursed people, and it was really interesting and cool, and they were long story short, they ended up going out in space, and they were living in the asteroid belt, mining for the Earth. And
this is a story you were working on?
Story I was working on.
Okay, cool.
So
22 Comics wants Iron Man versus Moon Knight versus Swamp Thing versus Zatanna. Can you do
that?
I think so. Who do you want to come out on top? That's the question. Because they could all be like kind of using powers at that moment and stuff.
Yeah, so you never know who's winning, right? It's all.
Let's see. There's 3 magical people in one. Would it be the Iron Man that had to use magical armor that one time? What was that from? That was in that story by the guy who just did. I think Brian broke again.
Brian's broken.
Brian's broken again. I can see his name. It's just going crazy. My brain's going blank. The guy who just finished the storyline for AXE.
AXE.
Yeah, the Avengers, X-Men, Eternals. Now, great conceptual idea, especially with the idea that Eternals looking at the X-Men as deviants. And and so that's that. I mean that whole concept. I love that idea. I love the Eternals. I love the characters. They're great. just wish.
So
the
are they
movie-
the Eternals basically going around trying to kill the X-Men? Is that the idea?
Yeah. Part of the story was they were like, okay, we've deemed them to be
Deviants, and
they're
therefore
deviants. So hopefully Brian makes it back to us here in a minute. But so we're still going live. We're still live. We're still going. I think so.
yeah,
we should just
we'll
keep
wing
going.
it without him.
Right, exactly. You know, it's just the writer of that storyline also did a run of Iron Man, and in one of the stories in Iron Man, he had to go into limbo or somewhere where he had his armor. No, it was right. He had to go to the Elven world, the Elfane, the one where the
Okay.
dark or Melvane or whatever it is, one of the 9 realms.
Mhm.
And to go there, he couldn't use technology, and so
Oh, okay, so he
he
had
talked to
some magical armor.
yeah. And you know what, I want to say that he ended up working with the gal from the gal from Werewolf by Night, though, the female character who was in the movie, who's the hunter.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Brimstone, not Brimstone, Elsa. No, that's her
Elsa
sister. Bloodstone. Yeah,
I
Bloodstone.
was trying to think about it too. I was
Yeah.
like working my mind.
and so she helped him make this magical wooden armor, and it was Iron Man armor but made of magical wood that could protect him while he was in the realm. So
Oh, that's cool.
so that it was that just one of those moments where it's the really cool thought. You know what, I think I have a comic that has the writer's name on it, and I wonder to see if anybody in the chat got it on there. No
So
one
did it become Wooden Man instead of Iron Man?
well, what if it was made out of iron wood? Could it be still Iron Man?
Okay.
Let's see here. So I have this box that I've been posting a bunch of stuff on eBay that I got from Kieran Gillian.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
the
met
writer.
her once.
Oh, no.
Karen Gillian, isn't she the one that plays Nebula?
No, Gillian is his last name. I don't think Kieran is his first name, but it's the guy who
Isn't
wrote
it Karen Gillian? Oh, the Judgment Day. That's
the Judgment Day story. That's the one I was talking about. That where the Eternals decide that the X-Men are deviants.
So that just came out recently, didn't it?
Yeah. It was a great concept story, but again, the giant crossover is so. I mean, it was well written, the stuff that was written by Gillian, but the rest of the story didn't fit as well, and so unless you're reading all the Marvel comics, it was kind of.
I find that's one thing that a lot of the time they'll do a story and then they say, well, and then they'll have like all these like little annotations where they say, oh, but you have to read this book, oh, and this book, and this book to understand what's going on. And it can be a bit hard.
Yeah. I'm writing it in the chat just to let everybody know if you're still here. As soon as Brian gets back, we're probably going to go ahead and do
the final draw.
Do the final drawing. And so anybody who gets it, see,
oh,
here he comes.
You did that twice now. You did it with me.
He is over there. I kind of want to point this way because that's where it is on my screen, but it
looks like Brian's here. A cat now.
Yes, he's loading for loading. I don't know what it says.
I can't. It's too small for me to read.
Yep. Loading for the phase.
Wow. So a few technical difficulties, but
right, technical difficulties, definitely.
I really have to catch up with my reading on modern books. I've been sort of focusing on more of the Golden Age stuff, so I'm out by. I feel like I'm out of like the loop in terms of most of the Marvel and DC stuff that's recent. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I love comics. I don't know. I may have confessed this at one time. If it's a comic book, I'll pretty much read it. And in most of the time, if I read the first issue and I like the first issue, just like it, I'll buy the next 3 issues and decide whether or not I want to collect it. Right?
Yeah. I do the same.
And so like I've always been a Batman fan. Love Batman. like I collected Batman Year One, right? I love Batman Year One, but then the story that kind of came after it was
So
so. So I was like, okay, I'm done. Frank Miller's story was great. Oh, yeah, Dark Knight Returns. Oh, okay, I'm gonna read that. Yeah, and I read that, but I never bought the issues because at the time I was on a limited comic budget because I was young,
Mhm.
and I couldn't afford. Those are the books I couldn't afford. And then so quickly after that they went up in price. Like everybody, you couldn't get them. And then I finally got myself a trade of it, and I read through the trade. I was like, oh my gosh, this was so great. How did I miss this?
Mhm.
I mean, I that era of comic books, right in when I was in high school, in junior high and high school, and when Brian and I started and became friends, those comics, those that I have a lot of memories around that. I mean, like I remember I was allowed to buy pretty much whatever I wanted unless it said mature reader, and then my parents had to say yes or no to that. And half the time they said yes.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
so like the artist who did the first Dark Horse Star Wars story, not the stuff that was in the first standalone story, Dark Empire. Cam
So
Kennedy.
I loved the Dark Empire series. That was a great series.
That artist did a story for Epic Comics called The Light and Darkness War.
Oh, okay.
And it was the the same phenomenal artwork that he had kind of done in Star Wars. So it had that big color splashes and the line drawings where it didn't really tell you couldn't I didn't know the difference between someone's face and the background sometimes, but color wise, but it was good. It was really fun. It was always good.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved doing that type of stuff and reading those things and getting into those comics that other people's kids probably wouldn't have gotten to read because it said mature content. But my parents were super trusting and super they were and they felt like I had good judgment, I guess, which is funny because I'm I didn't have good judgment. They just thought I had good judgment about certain things, I guess, because I don't know how many people how many houses I TP'd and how much trouble I got into in high school that they didn't really know about. But yeah, I mean, as for modern new stuff, so I pick up my comics off my comic shelf pretty much weekly, and during the school quarter, I usually can only read about a third. So I have to pick very specifically what I'm going to read. So it's like, okay, the story has to be captivating. Like, I know there's been a lot of controversy about the new Punisher story, right? People complained
that
I
wasn't too happy about it, but yeah.
Changing his symbol and why did it change? So it's actually a story that's tied to the Daredevil story that's going on right now. And now I agree. I'm personally I want the Punisher to look like the Punisher. I think he should have that character. That's the way he should look.
But
in fact,
also they changed his origin too, which I didn't like. They made him from a child going into that Punisher thing. So I didn't really like that part either.
Well, so here's how they did it. They actually didn't change the origin story so much. Did you read the story?
I read a bit of it. So okay. I read a couple issues from the.
So I just finished it. So issue 12 just came out. So, and even though they did add this bit about him being a child and wanting to be able to protect those around him and fighting back against the vileness of the nature, I think the idea of I think all that the writer was trying to do, I don't know him personally. For me, I felt like he was just wanting to flesh out the character even more, just give us some more meat. And then they wanted to kind of tell the story of how the Hand had chosen him to be the fist of the beast that is who they worship, right, in the background. And so I think the story in itself is really interesting if you don't say, okay, well, this is to the Punisher, because how it ends though is I think it ends in a way that I really appreciate what they did with the character, and it's not this suicide that others have touted on online. You know, the Punisher does this thing. Uh, I I would I would say to the comic book community that, in my opinion, you should read the whole story. Get this idea. Go get it in a graphic novel. You don't have to buy the issues. I don't you know, don't, if you don't want to buy it like that and you want to read it, want to go buy it, find it online for free and download it. I'm not telling you that you should do that. But if you did, read it. It's a good story.
I'll have to read the whole thing.
I mean, I think the story as a whole in itself, I think, is a really good story because it gives this kind of victory. Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, my phone crashed, my internet crashed, everything crashed. So that was awesome. Glad you guys were there to save my bacon.
Well, yeah. I'm always here for you, my friend.
I know. You're always here to burn me or to save my bacon. So that makes up for it.
I definitely will never burn your bacon, though.
Oh, well, if it's a little crispy, it's okay.
No, crispy is not burnt. We were just talking about the Punisher, and I was expressing that I actually ended up really liking how the story went, even though
I was able to actually hear. So I got my computer up and running, but my phone would, I could hear what you guys were talking about, but I couldn't say anything. Right. So Alan, have you got to do much in your sharing, or have you been feeling like we're talking over you tonight?
No, it's fine. I actually enjoy, like, I'm sort of out of the loop in terms of the more modern books, so I like getting the history and the knowledge. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Cool. I just didn't want you to feel like you were like, well, thanks for inviting me, and then just talking all over the top of me.
No, it's good. I'm good.
I mean, we needed you to be the sensei and tell us all the buttons to push and everything. So.
Yeah.
Well, I do apologize. Brian may have never mentioned it to you, but I was once on radio, and radio, you don't like to have a lot of downtime. And so when Brian went, I was like, okay, well, I guess we should just keep going. And it's time for Night Moves with Travis. So,
all right. Well, I appreciate you guys covering for my absence. Should we go ahead and do the drawing for the Travis?
We should, but we should do one more thing. I want to share this one more piece of art that I found. This is a piece of art that Brian drew and I inked. This is in 1987, I think.
1987.
1987. All right, ready? Okay. So we used to sit at the same table in our art class, but we were in different periods, and we would leave each other pieces of art, and then the rest of us would do stuff with the other person's art. Like there's a Colossus I drew that Eric inked. It was all that Brian had drawn was the Cyclops. So then I added Master Mold to the background and all the inks and all the dark and the shading and all that stuff to it. So anyway, I just wanted to share that one last piece of nostalgia.
Nice.
So Ben is asking what the drawing is for. So Ben, actually before we do the drawing, I'm going to do another dry run here at what the whole thing is about. So we're doing an initiative called hashtag comic book shout out. And the whole idea is to get exposure to different channels, or if you're thinking about starting doing YouTube, it's a good way to start and get some people following you and watching you. Away, pick a channel that you like. You tell people what you like about it and what is interesting to you about the channel, and suggest that they sign up. And then I'll put you on a playlist with everybody else who does the videos. And once a month, on the 15th, we're going to be doing a drawing for a sketch by myself. And we did the drawing earlier for my sketch, Mon Comics 1. And now we're going to do a drawing for a sketch by Travis. And then coming up in November, we're going to be giving away some books. I'm going to be giving away a copy of Swordmaster #1, as well as a Deadpool slab that I have. And then Trav, you had a slab that you're going to be showing. You can show that off again real
Sure.
quick. The Berserker Sketch 9.8.
9.8 Berserker
Two
Sketch.
sketch variant. Let me make you big again. There you go. You're big.
I'm big. There we go.
You're like Ant-Man using the reverse.
Yeah,
technology
all the light reflection off of it. Yeah.
There you go. So that's a cool book. So we're gonna be doing that coming up in November for everybody who's participated in the whole thing. So make your videos if you're interested in doing that. It will be really cool, and it helps people to become exposed to different channels. And this first round, we got started a little bit late in the month, and we got 23 videos up and almost 3,000 views for the videos. And so that's some good exposure for everybody. And I know a lot of people have been subbing up to different channels that they weren't aware of being out there. There's so many channels that do great content that nobody's aware of. So it's really awesome to be able to help promote the whole comic book community and get us all more interwoven and aware of one another and supporting one another. And what was it you said on your channel, Alan? You know, even if you sub up and just watch a couple of videos, it helps everybody greatly. Right?
Yeah. Just getting the numbers up for a lot of people is really important. You know, I think I think people need that trust score where if a channel has less than 1,000 subs, people don't trust it as much. And it can actually slow your growth, even though you're putting out content that is better than channels that have like 100,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? Like it's it's.
And I don't think people realize like how much when you're starting out, how much that really pumps people up just to see that, hey, you got a new subscriber. Just
I know. Yeah.
I know.
One guy.
I got 2 new subscribers today. I was so excited about that. I mean, my video, the video I put up, 100 views, but 2 new subscribers. It was so cool. I was really excited about that.
Awesome. It's super exciting.
I was watching a channel that's like 500,000 subscribers, and even they were saying that they watch their numbers. You know, they like watching. Like, if there's a new subscriber, they get excited.
Right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, I put out when I put out my shorts. A lot of times we're like, oh great, and I don't even care if it gets 1,000 views on a short. I'm like, did I get at least one sub off of it?
Yeah. I never do well with my shorts for some reason. Like nobody ever watches my shorts. It's like I put like an hour-long video out. People watch that, but a short that's like 30 seconds and nobody can spend 30 seconds watching my shorts. I don't know what it is.
I watch a lot of your shorts. I do. I actually watch a lot of your shorts that I come up. They're so great. I totally enjoy them because my time is so full right now. It's so great to. I love Brian's shorts. Brian, of course, I get notified when Brian's shorts come out. So, but so I think I get notified. Hey, watch my short.
Well, I will give what I've learned about shorts. So when I first started out, I was doing 60-second shorts, and then I learned that they want you to have a 70% watch through. And I was looking at when people were dropping out at like 28 seconds. So I'm like, all right, I'll go to 30 seconds. Well, 30 seconds, I started doing them, and people were dropping out at 22 seconds. So I went down. Now I do 15-second shorts. And they say that if you don't change your background within the first 4.5 seconds, and every 4.5 seconds thereafter, people will drop out. So
wow, I mean that's like that's just like ADHD.
That thing.
People just have no attention spans. What's wrong with people?
I'm telling you, that's so when I'm putting the comics on the thing to do the short, I'm like, all right, 4 seconds, all right, and then you've got to time it because they won't let you do a thumbnail for shorts. So I got to time the one that I want to be appearing, and then hope that it's not in the middle of. I've had so many times where I make the whole video, put the music on, and then the thumbnail comes up, and half of the cover is covered by a blurry brown thing of the next cover coming down. So I've got to go reshoot the whole thing because it takes its thing right out of its specific time that they want to do the short. So
Mhm. What I'll do is next time I do a short, I'll get like a set of keys and I'll go jingle, jingle the keys. And,
there you go. Jingle, jingle, jingle.
yeah.
Just start rolling balls and stuff around in the background or something. You know?
Piece of string. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, so here's a say some of the shorts do way better than a lot of my videos as well. I mean,
It's
my
the opposite for
long-form
me.
content-
It's total opposite for me.
Yeah, and I'm impressed. Your long form content is great, and you get great watch through, right? So I mean,
Yeah, average time is like on a 30-minute video, it's about 22 minutes.
yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
because we were just talking, I'm at 919 subs or whatever,
Mhm.
but I don't have the watch time that I need to get monetized because I've been getting most of my subs off of the shorts content. So
Mm. I think if we do
Yeah,
a few more collabs together, we can get you up over that 1,000 mark pretty quick.
what's that?
If we do a few more
We do a watch
collabs together, yeah, do something to get people subscribing to you. Yeah. But I mean, you grew pretty fast, in my opinion. So I think it took me a year to get to 1,000 subs.
Yeah, so they do let you pick up 3 different images in the. Do they do 3 in the short still? 3 different images you can pick for the short. No, I don't know if they do in the app. You hit the pencil of what they're going to display.
Oh, in terms of the thumbnails, you mean?
For the thumbnail, I don't know about that.
Oh no, you can actually before you upload, like when you get to that point where you're going to type in the title, you can go if you click on the pencil on the picture, it allows you to go in and set your image.
Oh, that's
that
good to know. I didn't know that. So
I figured that out, and that's why I've been taking photos for the thumbnails I've been doing now. I take a photo and I build it in VN, my short in VN, and edit it so it actually fits, because this morning's one was 104 seconds. Oh no, 1 minute 4 seconds. Man, I can't talk. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, and basically add image, and that image is what I went and selected as what I wanted to have show up as my screen. So you actually get to do it. It loads the video in, so you can pick anywhere in the video.
Wow!
I learned something new.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to use VN and figure out how to make shorts better.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just in the YouTube, right? Because that's in here. I don't have anything I was going to load. I could show you. It's actually really cool. You just when you get to that point on the short, if you're creating the short on YouTube, you can actually you actually get in there, and right where you're typing in the title, right next to it, you'll see a picture, and it has a pencil on it. Now, that image is not the image that it's going to show for your short until you choose the image. So if you don't choose the image in there, it's going to pick a random spot in your video to put up.
Okay, so does that work with the long form videos as well?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
It's like with me, whenever I choose my thumbnails for my videos, it's always whatever the recommend. Like they have like 3 choices usually, and then I just randomly pick one that looks the least obnoxious.
So I do almost all my uploads through my phone. So that's the other thing, is I don't do a lot of the uploads through the computer. Although I have a really nice computer, so I guess I could
make a YouTube video about how to make a YouTube short. That's actually when I was showing Travis how to do VN, I learned from watching a short or a long form video about how to edit your videos on Android and do it on your phone. And so, don't tell my bosses, but when I have downtime at work, sitting in my truck waiting to get loaded.
I use Movie Maker for the iPhone. That's the way I do it. Like whenever I edit my videos, I only edit 1 video a week right now. So,
you're doing your Golden Age one, right? Is that the
the one that airs tomorrow is the only one I edit. That's only one. Everything
I
else
love
is.
that video. That video that's a great video.
This
And
week
some of the
it's going to
stuff,
be
like the
insane.
one where you're like Steal of the Week stuff, I'm like, oh, where was I? Why didn't I see that book?
The steal of the week this week is insane. Is really insane. Like it's just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's the biggest steal ever. Like nobody can beat this steal. So yeah.
So I have coming in the mail a super high grade copy of $6 Million Man #1.
Oh, that's a nice one. I
Yeah,
picked
I
that
was
up.
like, he told me that I got it from Dave, West Coast Dave. He said, I think he said it was like between a 9.2 and a 9.4
Oh wow.
for a book from the 60s. I was like, I'm like, okay, God, I remember playing Bionic Man with all my friends. You know, you all punch each other in slow motion.
Yeah, and you make those sounds. Yeah. We did that all the time. It was fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I even had the Bionic Man Play-Doh set where you can make, you can make little Steve Austin, and it was awesome.
At 22, staying busy.
Mhm.
two edited videos a week, one live a week, one podcast a week.
Wow.
I've been for a while there. I was cranking out the content, and then it's just like I've gotten super busy at work. I mean, I was doing 4 shorts a day every day, plus like 4 or 5 videos a week, and then it was just like I'm lucky to get 1 short out a day, and maybe 2 or 3 videos a week.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to get 1 short or 1 or 2 shorts a week right now. So
for a little while, I was trying to compete with you there, Vicky. I was doing like, I do my regular video every day, but then I was doing a short in the evenings. Like I was trying to do like 1 short every evening. And I was like, it's too much. I can't do this.
Well, actually,
too much work.
If you go back when I was really going, it was like I was cranking 6 shorts a day, but it was like that was too much.
It's crazy.
I couldn't keep up. So.
Yeah.
All right.
This was Brian telling me, "Hey, you need to start a YouTube channel, Travis. You got to start a YouTube channel." I'm like, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's
and
go
do
ahead
what
and
I
do the
do.
drawing
Put out these
for
shorts.
the sketch. Yeah. We'll do a drawing for the sketch done by Travis.
Okay, you can share your screen.
Yeah. So if you're gonna pick your nose, do it now.
I'm totally picking my nose now.
I only pick my friend's nose.
All right. Oh, that's what I'm imagining. All right. I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice here or spin the wheel. 1, 2, 3. Be funny if it was Mind Comics again.
That wouldn't be fair.
No, it's not going to be.
No, seriously? Oh, you got to spin it again if it's him.
Maybe Romuel.
Oh, cool.
Romuel, I have no idea.
I actually wanted
he's
him
gonna
to
have
win.
You draw.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't think I have him as a sub, so I'm gonna sub him right now.
I actually wanted him to win because he puts out so many giveaways. Like he does a lot of giveaways himself, so it's fun. It's good that he gets something.
Yeah, that guy. He does. If you guys are not subscribed to Romuel, he does 2 and 3 giveaways a week on his channel of stuff. It's crazy.
How do you spell
so what a great guy to win. That's
awesome.
Romuel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me hang on a second here. I'll look at it on my computer.
Just
we can pull it back. I'll share it. Let's see. Share screen again.
Because unbelievably,
he's right over here.
There's more than one Romuel in YouTube.
Yeah, Romuel. There he is. Valdivia.
All you do is Romuel and then comics, and then you'll find him probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comic books and food.
Yeah.
I haven't seen so much food on his channel, but I've seen a lot of
I think
comic
he's moved away from it, but at first he said he was doing and food part more.
Well, congrats to Romuel. He is amazing. And 22 says, Let's see here. Congrats, Romuel. Yeah, what's on the comic rack? Yeah. So he's,
There it
I
is.
couldn't think of a more deserving winner. So we got Mon Comics, Brandon over at Mon Comics, and Romuel are our first two winners. So that's awesome. We'll do some sketches for them. Get those out. We'll make sure we share those with everybody. We'll do a stream and share everybody. I don't know. Do we want to share it on our? Do we want to spoil it on our channel or let them highlight it on their channel first?
Ooh,
Hmm.
that's an interesting idea. Yeah. Well,
Well, if it was for you, what would you want, Alan? Would you want to show it off on your channel first, or would you want to have it shown off somewhere else?
I think it's better if you let them show it on their channel first. Let them.
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
then we can show like a digital copy on our channel later on or something.
Yeah, they can
That's-
do like
that's cool.
they can do an unboxing video or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome.
Okay. So, yeah.
Well, cool. Well, are you guys tuckered out? I know, Alan, you're over on the East Coast, right? Are you
Yeah,
like
it's
just
like,
are you with the energy?
it's like
over there?
12:15 right now. So yeah, a
Yeah.
little late.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, I have like a whole bunch of comics around me. I'm like sort of looking at them and sort of sorting them out as we're talking here. It's, it's like
Oh,
really
there you go.
disgusting.
You're staying busy.
I have like about
Doing
200 comics literally right in front of me that I have to sort out.
multitasking. Show us a comic. Show us a comic.
You want to see a cool comic? So, for example, Space Detective.
Oh, that's a cool comic.
That is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
there's like, I'm trying to sort them out by like Silver Age and Golden Age and Key Comics and figure out
Thanks,
where to put
22.
them. I have no idea.
Mr. Aiken.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone for joining tonight.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really fun hanging out with you guys, and appreciate Travis and Alan for coming on the show and hanging out. And Sensei, thank you for telling us all the things, and we're able to sensei some of the other people watching and teach each other some new things about shorts. So last time I was up this late, I was playing D&D, all hopped up on Mountain Dew, ? I'm going to say. Way past mine as well. You know,
I miss
Yep.
D&D. I used to love playing D&D.
D&D is the best.
I like being GM
Awesome.
or DM, I should say.
Dungeon Master or Game Master,
Yeah.
either's either is appropriate. I happen to actually run a group for my daughter and
Oh,
her
wow.
friends. So we
C22.
yeah, so we did that. We actually
Everybody hit up Alan to get shown on his channel.
absolutely, definitely. Yeah, it was fun. It was really cool.
Mhm.
For sure.
Very cool.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Going to say my thing. Share your love of comics with everybody. You never know where it'll take you. And with that, hopefully you guys put out some good content for some hashtag comic book shoutouts. And thanks again to everybody who watched the video. And don't forget, here coming up again, you guys could win some artwork by me,
Yeah.
or by Trav.
By me?
So,
Mhm.
all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead
Original.
and stream Trav and Alan hang out.
Okay.
Bye, guys.